the hype, the plague that has been spreading through the gaming community, guys. It's getting a little bit out of control. I mean, I get it. Believe me, I get it. I am such a huge Harry Potter fan. If you could see what I have behind here, literally a wall of Harry Potter posters and wands, and I've read the books, I've seen the movies, I've played the games. I am exactly where you are, guys. But I think it's important to remember we've been here before. This is exactly the situation that we've had with so many other titles. I'm gonna name just a few: Aliens, Colonial Marines, Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout 76, No Man's Sky, Death Stranding, Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Duke Nukem Forever, which like took 15 years to make, insane. And more recently, Forspoken, that I was personally looking forward to so much for 2+ years, and then when it came out, I was like, is this? This is like a 10-year-old looking game. What the fuck? So all these titles, and the list goes on and on and on. It's always the same story. Obviously, the developers and the marketing team, their main job is to sell the game. So they're gonna tell us all the great things about the game. They're gonna tell us all the great features. They're gonna show us all the flashy stuff, all the beautiful vistas, all the particles, all the characters and all that stuff. They're not gonna tell us all the things that are not so great about the game, all the features that this game doesn't have but are perfectly standard for all the other games coming out around the same time. Of course they're not gonna tell us about those, because that's not how you sell your game. You're gonna want to make it like the best thing ever, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to blame the devs or the marketing team or the sales guys that they want to sell their game. That's literally the whole point. They spent years and years developing this game, spending so much money on it, and obviously they need to make profit. That's the whole point. If you don't think that making profit is the whole point of making games, then you're kidding yourselves. So I'm definitely not blaming them. They're just doing their job. It's more on the gamers having insane expectations based on the little content that the developers and the marketing team showed us. Like, we saw what, an hour of gameplay, if that, which was very selective, also showing only kind of the little things that they wanted us to see. I mean, obviously, officially nobody even had the chance to play the game yet everybody is like, oh, this is gonna be the best game ever, this is gonna be, you know, the game of the year, is the game of the century. Now, I'm not disputing the fact that it might be the best Harry Potter or the best Wizarding World game that we ever get, but I think what makes sense is to bring down the temperature a little bit and set reasonable expectations. And reasonable expectations look a little bit different for everybody, which makes sense. But it's always better to expect less and then be pleasantly surprised than to have unreasonable expectations and then be terribly disappointed, which is something that has happened to me. I know it has happened to you. It's happened to all the gamers before with different titles, right? I mean, we're different people. We expect different things from different titles. And then sometimes we're surprised because we didn't really expect that much. And then suddenly we're like, oh, we're blown away. This game is so deep, so beautiful, whatever. And then you have other games that you expected so much from, and then you kind of sit down and you buy it and you're like, this is not what I was promised. So I think the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, can be applied here. Usually it's used in the negative connotation. I think in here, if you judge the game by the little snippets of what the developers and the marketing team shows you, and then you expect all these huge things, you might still get disappointed. You're judging the whole game based on the little things that you've seen, and that might not be exactly what you get at the end of the day. So be careful what you wish for, because then at the end of the day, what we end up having is everybody crying and being so sad and disappointed and going on Twitter and going everywhere just typing down, oh, this is so bad, this is not what you showed us. Well, I mean, you only have yourself to blame. And believe me, guys, I'm not trying to be a naysayer here. If anybody wants this game to succeed, it's me. If this game succeeds and it's everything that we ever wanted as, you know, Harry Potter fans, as open world RPG game fans, I'm gonna be so ecstatic and so happy, and I'll eat all my words. But until that point, I'm gonna take a deep breath, and I'm gonna take everything with a grain of salt and just wait for the game to come out and then see what happens. Because I've been disappointed way too many times for this to happen to me again. And you know what they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So if you don't want to be considered insane, just break the wheel, just like Daenerys said. set the right expectations. Nothing too crazy, but don't undersell the game. I mean, obviously, well, there are things that are reasonable to expect from the game, from what we've seen from the gameplay and from what they showed us, but rather expect less and then be rewarded with more. That's all I'm saying, guys. I mean, the game is coming out in less than 2 weeks at this point, especially if you order the deluxe or the collector's edition. So the game is going to be out in just a little bit, so we might as well just chill out a little bit, enjoy the remaining 2 weeks, stock up on Mountain Dews and pizzas and Hot Pockets, and just be ready for the launch when it comes out, and then just enjoy the journey rather than be so overhyped and then get super disappointed when the game comes out and it's not exactly what you wanted it. Anyways, guys, just a quick video for today. I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there because of what I've seen going on online with this game. So let's just hope everything turns out great, but be ready for the fact that it might not be the end all be all. See you guys next time.